I like to dig in on that 1.5 spin. The overall shape and feel of this guy, the thickness, very solid, very nice. That horn just digs right in. Okay, that's a little bit better. So that's the Bill Page axe. Nice thick scales, copper rivets. Now the thing about these copper rivets, I've tried using like Chicago screws, especially this side is very flat. Very flat. You cannot see very little popping up above the scale, and that side is recessed in enough that throwing, you don't even feel them. You can't even tell they're there. And then of course Bill Page does beautiful leather work. Beautiful leather work. Another one I really liked was this Bowie. Could use a little bit sharper of a tip and a little bit more defined edges. Those would be more of a convex edge with some file work on the ends. I did see some writing on it, but I could not read it. The one thing I didn't like was the cord wrap. My grip, and I'm showing you left-handed, is a thumb of God or thumb up on the ridge, which is used to slow down the spin. I could feel every ridge as it releases from my hand. I would prefer either bare metal or the leather or some other smooth material. I tell you what, for a cheap production piece, and I would suggest this for any starter, this is a very easy knife to throw. Just about anywhere I threw it from, I was able to stick it on the first try. My 1 spin, 1.5, 2 spin, just a very easy knife to throw. The edges, I don't know if it's just the paint, but they're not sharp. There is no edge on the blade, just a nice point. And it's strong enough that I didn't bend it at all. And I'm notorious for bending tips and stuff. And it's been around, so it's beat up a little bit, well used. I should clean and oil these before I send them off. Now, another one, and there's a set of 3 of these that I liked. The pros are the shape is good, the handle's smooth release. The cons, well, it's too thin. Comparatively, it's too thin. I would get a bad release and it would just flop around all over the place. You start getting back at 2, 2.5, 3 spin, and this blade is not going to hold up to wind but the design is good. And, you know, a good strong point, strong metal. It held up. I had no problems with it. My only complaint was that it was too thin, whereas this one being much thicker, I liked it a lot better. The weight, everything felt good about it. And then why one of these didn't have the same hole, I have no idea. Somehow they managed to make a match set that's not matching. It's all good. It threw fine. It made no difference. So now let's move on to another one. The circus thrower. Not exactly sure who made this one. If you donated this one to the Pass Around Box of Knives, thank you. It was a nice piece. Fun to throw. Easy to throw. I would also recommend it to a beginner. My only problem again was it was thin and lightweight. So when you started getting back into 2 spin, 2.5, 3 spins, you found problems. Whatever you used for the finish, it seemed to hold up pretty good. Yes, another nice one for the Pass Around box. Okay. The cat's paw thrower. Thick, heavy, durable, and can remove nails and screws in a bind. Useful tool. I would not say it is the best thrower. They're not bad. I didn't have any problem sticking them. Just kind of a straight, flat kind of piece of steel. And there was 2 of them. You know, something kind of simple to make. Now this crazy looking guy, I don't know what it was. I guess maybe a file. Doesn't seem to have any of the old tread to it. A random piece of steel maybe, used for something else at one point. The point is off, as you can see. 2 different angles. Had a few problems sticking it, mainly because of the cord wrap handle. Again, my style of grip, thumb on the spine, and I had plenty of room for my thumb, but I would have to hang it out a little bit. Its balance, I needed more at the tip. It's short. The shorter they are, the quicker they'll spin, meaning the closer you have to stand, you know, to your target in order to get the desired spin, flip. Another lawnmower type blade. He was a bit short. Other than that, decent handle, stuck well, didn't have too many problems with it. Nice thickness. Overall good. Just a short kind of blade there. And I guess before I go into the production ones, I will show this mammoth of a blade. This guy's big. So I had to stand back about 6 inches or 10 inches from my target. All the weight is at the front. I think I tried to throw like 1.5 spin and found it severely lacking. The curve on the blade is a good grip for my style grip. little rough down here. Maybe round that off a little bit. Very awkward blade to throw. It almost threw like Bill Page's axe. Alright, now to the production knives. This guy's small. I don't know, 8-10 inches. He well made, nice thickness. I had no problems. Never felt like the tip was going to break, and that's probably due to thickness. Stuck it well from one spin, half spin. Due to its size, I would not try 1.5 or 2 spin. Decent production piece. If they made them 12 inches, 13 inches, 14 inches, could very well be a top competitor knife for throwing. And the Besh wedge. Well, it really could have been a great thrower. I would probably grip it this way I would grip it this way for blade throws, but the handle, that curve down at this end, I would have to grind it off. It would force the throw to be awkward. I really wasn't liking it too much. As far as a production throwing piece, definitely a thumbs down in that area. Everything else was fine, but if you get it, grind that off, clean it off. And pretty much the same thing with this. This is the Cold Steel Naga. Not my favorite piece. It didn't like to throw from very many places, mainly because on that edge you have a curve, which again would force, and then these two, it just forced your grip and made a very inconsistent and awkward throw. Keeping the handle smooth would be much more productive, easier to keep a consistent throw. So that concludes my video review of the wonderful Pass-Around Box of Knives 1. Thanks very much, guys. I will be sending these off shortly. Have a good day.